Cub Swanson versus Jonathan Martinez, the Dragon, brother. Big thing that we have to make note before we talk about anything here. Cub Swanson, the man has how many fights? Dude got 30-something fights in his career. He's just basically already a Hall of Famer, still fighting. And he decides, for whatever reason, you know what? I think I want to dive down to 135. And I want to go take on some of the young killers at 135. Even though, generally speaking, unless your name is Jose Aldo and you go down in weight towards the end of your career, good things don't normally happen there. And I'm gonna be honest with you here, AJ. Like I'm gonna start this off by saying when I looked at this matchup, I was like, I don't understand why Jonathan Martinez is such a favorite. Cub Swanson has all the tools and all the skills and all the ability to disrupt his flow and really give him some issues. But then I saw he moved down to bantamweight, and I was like, I don't know about that. Like now, because of history and track record, I don't like it. But you tell me, man. Jonathan Martinez is a very methodical, pace, technical stand-up fighter, but if you really get in his grill, man, and you really disrupt that flow, things start to get a little bit weird for him. So I think Cub can do it. Do you think his chin can handle the shots Jonathan Martinez is going to be bringing his way at 135?
Man, and dropping down in the weight is really what scares you the entire time with the glass chin, man. We've seen it proved over and over and over again. You start losing that much weight, it's just not the best for your chin stability. And Jonathan Martinez hits like an absolute truck too. But if there's ever a fighter that's going to be the one that's going to do it, I think it's the mindset and the tenacity of a Cub Swanson, somebody, a veteran who's been in there time and time again in some absolute wars. But to that point, man, is that a good thing on the mind and the chin, whether, not getting tested all the time? I don't know, but I think Cub Swanson, like I said, has the mental game to get this thing done. If there's ever a fighter who wants to be in there more, I doubt it's anybody else besides Cub Swanson, man. What do you think? Is he going to be on all will and guts being driven through this? Are we going to see a technical Cub Swanson at 135?
No, I think that we're not going to see. I think technical needs to be the opposite of what he needs to do to win this fight, right? And what I mean by that is make it ugly, make it dirty, mix up some grappling, make this a true MMA fight. Because Jonathan Martinez, purely on the feet, why, bro? You're a Factory X Muay Thai guy. Like, why are we messing with this guy? That's not the game plan you want to initiate. You want to just really bring war and not a sparring match. Because that's the thing about Jonathan Martinez, man. When's the last time that he lost? Davey Grant, when he got just slept with that big overhand left, right? And that was on that like super hot Davey Grant run that he was on. But I think the most important thing you need to take away from that is that Davey Grant is such an unconventional, just like weird, I'm going to throw random things in your face fighter from unorthodox angles that you're not able to accurately sit there and just dip and dive and move off the center line the right way, simply because you're not throwing something that a normal person throws. So I think if Cub Swanson can mix that up, he's got fantastic kicks, he can grapple when he really needs to. I just think that Jonathan Martinez is going to have to be on P's and Q's, and this is not by any stretch of the imagination just like a cakewalk for a matchup. That sound about fair? Or you got any pushback on there for me?
No, man, it sounds about fair. I mean, Jonathan Martinez is just another level of a new fighter. And once I saw this one on the screen, that's exactly what I thought. This is Cub Swanson, the old school, the old school dog versus the new school pup, really trying to come up. And this is a very opportune moment for both fighters to make a big name. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if Cub Swanson gets this win on Jonathan Martinez, that win is going to age very, very well. If Jonathan Martinez gets this win on Cub Swanson, he already has a fat notch on his belt. This is a good fight for both fighters right here.
Yeah, bro. And look at this, man. Look how similar they are. Knockout percentage similar, submission percentage similar, decision percent similar. Everything is almost identical except average fight time a little longer for Martinez. But this is the other thing, man. You got to take into consideration. Cub Swanson has fought the best of the best, right? A little bit different on the Jonathan Martinez end, but it's something that you should definitely take note of. Now, if there was one way that Cub Swanson pulled the upset right here, how is it?
Man, if there's one way, I think it'd be that TKO. Some crazy TKO out of nowhere. I don't really see him winning a decision nor a submission. And I think the better is, the odds don't say just submission either. I'd say random TKO and a crazy flurry knockout, man. What about you?
I don't know. Like I said, if he mixes everything up, I can even see him winning a decision, man. I don't think Cub Swanson is the guy to sleep on in this matchup, man. I think it's going to be a bad day for anybody who really thinks that this is just a cakewalk for Jonathan Martinez, man. I love how skilled the man is, but This is a tough matchup. But let's talk about these odds, man. I can understand minus 210. Jonathan Martinez is basically like the same odds as the main event that we just had, right? But these props, though, right? So the best shot of Cub Swanson winning is a decision plus 300 for Martinez, plus 125 for the decision. Martinez has already noted in the pre-fight presser, he's like, I don't care how I win as long as I win, so I don't care if I'm getting decisions. But look at that plus 275 TKO, man. We know Cub Swanson, last time he got finished, it was with the Giga kick, right? Liver, just tore up. Can Jonathan Martinez replicate that with some of his kicks?
Man, that's what I was looking for on this one, to be honest with you. I think a big statement win on a big statement fighter like Cub Swanson is exactly what Jonathan Martinez should be looking for this one, man. And not to pull the cat out of the bag already, but like I said, I'm looking for that Jonathan Martinez TKO, and I'm looking like second round, man.
Okay, is it early or late second round?
I'm gonna say late. Give Cub Swanson a little respect, man. I'm going late second round TKO.
Okay. Didn't really matter either way because over and under is 2.5, right? But listen, man, I respect that. So if you're going 2.5, right, we're taking the under. Let me check what the odds are on that over and under. Minus 160 for the over, plus 130 for the under right there, man. So people thinking this might go the distance. I'm actually one of those people. I think that Jonathan Martinez is going to win this fight. Listen, I love the TKO bet that you're taking because what's the number one thing that I just started this off with? You're cutting down to 135. Will that chin be able to handle it? I think Cub can mix it up, though, to where Jonathan Martinez might not be able to land that real clean shot, but it's still going to be able to more or less not dictate the pace, but that pace that we're talking about. Martinez is a very paced fighter. I think he's going to be able to just kind of ride it out to a decision. Biggest win of his career, Cub Swanson, but then you got to take into consideration, this is literally the biggest fight of his career. So Cub Swanson upset? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just going to say that. All right, brother. Boom. That's a co-main event right there, man. And this is happening in Vegas right here. You would think for Cub, for one of his last fights or something, they'd give him like a California card. I don't imagine him fighting too much longer than this, but we'll see. Actually, real fast, before we move on, I want to mention one last thing before we get out of here. Did you see Cub Swanson's pre-fight presser?
No.
Well, he had Dan Argueta. You remember Dan Argueta for The Ultimate Fighter? He had him speak for him the whole time. Cub was wearing shades. He refused to talk the whole entire time. He was just sitting there, and he had the other dude do his interview for him. And there's some speculation going on that because of the weight cut, it might not be. And listen, man, this is the internet, so who fucking knows, right? They're saying there might be a rough weight cut, and he might be, because sometimes you get ill from cutting, like literally get sick from cutting weight. Saying he might not be able to speak the way that he should, and he doesn't want any bad, no bad jujus to get like leaked out there before the fight. I'm just saying, brother. Any thoughts, or are we moving on?
Ooh, man, I wish there was more than speculation on that, because you're right. And that's one of the things a lot of, you remember when, Blessed Express, man, Max Holloway went on that. Yeah. He was doing a big weight cut. I think it was a short notice fight for Habib. Yeah. And everybody was saying, because he was like stuttering a little bit and had a little slip or two. That's really kind of, I think, what Cubs could be trying to avoid right here, getting caught up in something like that.
Well, that's what got the fight called off. So probably not a bad move right there. So I'm just saying, folks, Take it into consideration. That's all I'm saying.